Welcome to Thriving with Tricia, the podcast for ambitious 20-somethings chasing big dreams and building lives they actually love. I'm Tricia, your host. Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to Thriving with Tricia. I am so excited for this pilot episode. Okay, so let me just get right in and tell you how this all started. I only really thought about this podcast idea a few weeks ago. Really 2 weeks ago is when I started thinking about it. And it was at this huge women in business event called Create and Cultivate. And I sat in on a panel where Cody Sanchez was speaking. And she just said something that really clicked for me. She said, "Don't follow your passion, follow what you're good at, and think 10 times bigger than you think you possibly can." And this really hit me because I think this contradicts a lot of the advice that we hear in modern day and also as women. Of course, it's always good to have things that you like doing, but then there's also the idea of just going all in on where your skills are. And the fact that she said that when she was talking to another CEO and she told him her goal, I think it was like helping 1 million people or something like that. And he was saying, why not think 10 million? Why not, think 100 million? Why, as women, do we play it small? And this kind of made me think about the intersection between what I'm good at and the fact that I've kind of been playing it small for the past few months and maybe even years. And I don't think it's the sense where I'm not doing anything. Of course, I am doing things. Of course, I'm always trying new things. But in the sense that maybe I've started to dream a little smaller. I've kind of been staying in my comfort zone for a bit. And one thing that truly I love is talking to people and sharing my knowledge. When I was 16 years old in high school, I emailed the national editor of the New York Times to come tour their headquarters and interview him. And this person was the one who oversaw everything, okay? And I really did not think I was gonna get a response, but then I did. And he was so nice and shared all his knowledge with me. And I really hope I can interview him again in the future for this podcast. And then I did the same thing with the editor in chief of the Wall Street Journal. At the time, I was just part of my high school newspaper club, and that was my experience with writing. But I'd also written a children's book, and really, I love writing, but then I also love interviewing. And this kind of bled into college where I became a newspaper reporter. And, there were 50,000 students in our school, and this was at the peak of the pandemic in 2020, during the elections, during the time where a lot of different current events were happening. I really had the chance to talk to people and put myself out there in situations that I maybe wasn't the most comfortable with, but it really just helped me grow as a person. And I think a lot of the success that I've had after that has to do with these skills. And really, I love talking to people. I love giving advice. If you ask my friends, people close to me, I really enjoy meeting new people and just sharing my knowledge. And of course, if you follow me on social media, I really just try my best to give value. And so that's where the idea of this all started. I was thinking about Call Her Daddy, On Purpose, The Diary of a CEO, all of these media brands that really stem from a podcast. And I love all these brands and what they've been able to do. They're all such incredible people. But as someone who is a Filipina immigrant, I'm in my early 20s and I am building a business, building multiple things in real time. And I'm also not the most in your face type of person. I'm not necessarily super out there, but I just speak from a sense of being grounded and the wisdom that I have to share. I feel like I really didn't see too many people, and I really want to inspire people in our generation to take action, to believe in themselves, because our generation is also the generation that has gotten caught in all of the things that I mentioned, through COVID, technology, through unemployment. And this generation has really been affected by all these things. And I just want to kind of instill that hope that we can still keep doing things. So really my goal for Thriving with Trisha is kind of like a personal growth journal in a way where I'm talking to you, but I'm also going to be bringing in guests every other episode to share their knowledge. These are people who are building things, founders, creatives, experts who might be in their 20s or might be older but can share their knowledge, who are really just inspiring other people and doing things that are amazing, are really cool. And so that is my goal for this. And I think I'm going to try to hit all different categories with the main focuses being in career, health, and mindset and growth as a whole. And if there's anyone that you can think of that you might follow or you might want me to interview, let me know and I will try to make it happen. It's really about creating a life that's aligned with you and not just doing the cycle that you might be used to, because maybe it's comfortable. Maybe it's just what you've been doing for a long time, but really thinking bigger than that and thriving on your own terms. And I really want this to be a space where you feel seen and where after every episode, you can take something and apply it to your own life. I love the actionable insights. I love it when people give me strategies, tools, just things to look at and for me to level up my own growth. And so that's what I'm going to do. Right now, of course, I'm starting with a podcast. It's just me and my mic. But hopefully someday this will evolve into a whole media brand where it'll be community, in real life events, and so much more. For now, I want to inspire even just one person, hopefully, and eventually a whole room of people going for what they want. So if you're still here, thank you. And before the next episode, I want to give you a little challenge. Just write down one goal you want to make progress on this season. I wanted to keep this first episode short and sweet just to give you a little glimpse of what this podcast is going to be. So thank you so much for tuning in to Thriving with Tricia. If anything here resonated with you, please hit follow, leave a review, share this with someone, and let's grow together. Thanks for tuning in to Thriving with Tricia. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you hit follow, leave a review, and shared it with someone. I'll see you on the next one.